Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot second. I haven't forgotten about you guys. Hopefully you haven't forgotten about me, but I still have yet to deliver to you guys 2024's coverage of the Fling at Double Horseshoe Farm. It's just me in the booth here today. I'm going to be giving you guys some insight to the MPO card. It's just a 4-person field. I got the front 9 here for you guys for a 2-round event on a single day. We're in Lakin, and it's a nice, warm day, but tons of wind, which seems to be the main obstacle here at the farm. I'm excited to get into this with you guys. There have been quite a decent amount of changes here at the course this year, and to bring it all in, we're starting actually with the classic. This is hole 1. Not much has changed. The tee pad did move just a tiny bit, but not by much. Still the same hole. 323 foot par 3, uphill about 20-25 feet. So you got to throw it quite a good ways, and these players are throwing into a western wind, which is a prevailing right to left wind. So throw a big righty backhand hyzer out to the right, let it lift up, and try to get it into circle 1. Putts are going to be critical today for all of these guys. And you see each one of them here. I don't think any of them are strangers to the channel. Nathan Yemm being a newbie, so excited to show you his game here on the coverage. But starting us off, we've got Gary, the local pro, so to speak, of the Peoria area, throwing MVP, doing a solid job. So he does exactly that, hangs a disc out to the right, kind of pushes straight for a little bit until it starts fading off, and then he did end up kind of pumping it past the hole, so he'll have a tailwind approach for the second. Jared, we've seen this guy quite a few times. He loves throwing... He's got a lot of discraft in his bag, hence the jersey, but he actually has a great mix in his bag. Good power, good control, and he does something similar to Gary. A little bit shorter, a little bit straighter at the basket. He'll be just about edge of circle. And the bro, London, throwing a lot of discraft. In fact, only exclusively discraft. And he likes to throw flat to baby anhyzer, so he'll put a overstable fairway driver. I think that was an Onyx, kind of on a similar line to Jared. And then here is Nate. I do not quite know his bag, but maybe I'll get to know it here in the future. He throws something a little bit more understable right at it, but it's going to get that lift and kind of push a little bit more to the left. So good distance control there, but not quite on the line he wanted. I stand corrected, sorry, the distance control comment. It's hard to tell exactly where you're at with the undulations in the pasture out here, so a little simple approach for both him and bro. Ooh, that wind getting a little funky with the disc there at the end of the flight. Gary for a great 2. Oh, clipping the top of these baskets. Putting on the green is going to be key. As I had mentioned before, it's not a particularly windy day per se. We do have another card teeing off of... it's not teeing off, sorry. This is throwing for hole 16, running close to this green. But Jared lining up his putt. Ooh, and he lets it sail. Surprisingly enough, I mean, it's kind of a tailwind. Yeah, I'd be surprised too why it wouldn't drop. And there's the wind lift. Okay. Everybody's going through the same conditions today, so this is not going to be scoring quite as well as you can, obviously, in still wind, but you definitely don't want to be starting off with a bogey or a double bogey. Gotta applaud the putts into the wind when you can. Alright, a bogey cleanup there for Jared. And I believe it's a double cleanup, yeah, for Gary. He's got a lot in him, a ton of disc golf left, so it ain't done. I want to shout out Legacy Discs. They've been awesome. They've been helping me out with this event for the past 2 years, so very glad that they were able to kick an awesome players pack to us, including a nice event stamp disc, shirt. Just go check them out. They can hook you up with all the best stuff. Moving into a headwind now, making a turn to the right, we've got a 219-foot par 3, pretty much flat in elevation, but the downhill slope after this basket causes the wind to be on a rise. So getting to stick on the green is tough on this hole. You can tempo down on an overstable approach disc and it'll still manage to just ride straight. This wind really makes it hard to keep it close. London's throwing a zone here. Puts on a nice bit of hyzer. You definitely need to hang that a little bit further to the right in some cases, but that was actually not too badly thrown. Let's see what Nate has here. Similar line to London. It pushes just a little bit. Okay, so not too different from any of these guys, but once again, the little crest of hill, or the hill crest, crest of hill, right in between us and the basket here definitely makes it hard to judge exactly how close you've gotten. There is a dip right before the basket collecting a lot of discs, so it looks like everybody else is somewhat close. Let's see what Gary has here. The longest of the bunch, and wow, good lofty putt, letting the wind just carry it into the basket. Well done. Looks like London's on the kind of tailwind side. Must be good to kind of dunk it in. Putting with a Kratos, I believe. Oh. The rude absence of drop. that rude wind lift. Like I said, that hill behind him causes the wind to be on the rise, so it's hard to judge when you putt flat on the tailwind side whether it will actually drop or lift the putt. Oh, and it's good height there, good control. He pulls it a little bit, so it'll be a good bird from Nate. London just wants to stop the bleeding here, but yeah, just some tap-ins for well-deserved birds. Good controlled shots. Just small laps. Once again, another 34 holes left, so not too much. All right, guys, Underdog Sports, one of the best companies I've ever worked with. They are awesome. You should check them out. I'll have more for you guys about Underdog at a later time. But as we shift over to hole 3, this is a 320-foot par 3. You can pretty much find the basket going straight at this small tree here in the background. This hole surprisingly plays like 360, 370. Once again, the wind just does something with the disc that keeps it from really pushing and getting the distance you need. So a lot of players throwing distance drivers out to the right. The head right to left will cause the disc to kind of lift and push much further left. So yeah, hang it out right. The wind will do the work. All right. Couple of birds from Jared and Nate, puts them on the tee first. The rule of thumb is if you do well on the previous hole, odds are you're probably going to be the wind read for the rest of the card. So let's see what Nate gives us. I think this is the same disc he threw off of the tee pad of 1. A little bit of understability to it, a little bit of flip up to it. I think I lose sight of it. It hangs out a little right. Oh, you see it drop right there. Yep, so a little bit right of target. And as Jared lines up his shot, I want to give him a shout out and a thanks. Jared came out and he helped me mow all of these fairways. So we took care of a lot of it with a big bat wing. If you didn't see my course planting video, you should go check it out. It's a lot of fun designing a course, putting it in. Jared helped me out a lot by coming in, offering to mow. He got about 7 of the 18 fairways mowed. That was incredible. And that tee shot from Gary was quite incredible as well. We'll see it when we get up to the basket. He's pretty close for a birdie look. Jared's wasn't too bad either. Yeah, this is one of the risks that happens when you throw a little bit straighter into this headwind. It does have a chance of just straightening out and never really getting back left. So you really do want to start out on hyzer and never let the disc leave that line to get that push back to the left. So it's a small error. You'll have a routine pitch up. Nate. Kind of a soft bid, not wanting to put it too far. The green here is pretty safe. It's kind of in a dip, so if you run the basket, you're not going too far unless you get some sort of skip or roll, but the grass is pretty grabby too. So great line from Jared. Kind of playing the wind, seeing if it'll lift, and it didn't. London, good distance. Circle's edge on the right. Oh, that was a great strong putt. And the tap out for a parked shot on 3. Well done, Gary. Just some guys tapping out some pars here now. Underdog Sports, they have it all. Please go check them out. They are a fantastic proponent for disc golf in the area, both in Peoria and Springfield. So let's look at hole 4. I was so disappointed when the winds came through the river valley and took down some trees here on the property. This being one of them. As a farewell to one of the oldest trees on the property, I wanted to use it on the green. So hanging basket in years past has now become kind of a just a guardian for the green. 330-foot par 3 in a right to left tailwind. Just kind of throw maybe a slower driver at most, but something straight that just gets lifted and pushed into the green. A little high and right from Gary. That didn't have much wind impact, surprisingly. Looks like a driver here from Nate. This does have, there is opportunity for the disc to just kind of fall out of the sky too. So some people throw a stalling shot that just kind of falls right behind the green. Oh no, this does get the lift and it gets pushed into the rough on the left side. There are some black locusts here on the property, which players are given 2 meters relief from. And if you guys haven't seen black locust thorns, man, I want to post a link to an image of them in the description, so go look at those. But a good shot from Jared. He's now on the inside of the green, kind of be up against one of the trunks, I would imagine. Circle 1 putt. Oh, and this one's also getting left. Nate and London being in the same position. There's some cut up branches down in there too. As a result of cleaning up this tree, we had to put them somewhere, so I think they're just kind of pitching out, getting close to the tree where they can. And the furthest birdie look. Whoa! Wow! In between the tree and the basket. That was great height, great control. Here's Jared. Last birdie look. Oh. Jared's been doing a lot of good work with his putt, so I could see in the new year he's going to have a a lot more presence on this channel and a lot of good putts. I'm certain of that. Good. Good par cleanup right there. Couple more. Well done. And as I look at this tree, I'm just so sad. So sad that it will not be around for future years. But no time to mourn. Want to shout out Power Grip in Bloomington, Illinois. They have a storefront and a big online presence as well, doing great stuff for Central Illinois. Zach Parcell over there has done awesome work with both the Peoria Frisbee Club and the Bloomington Disc Golf Club as well. So thanks, Zach, for all that you do. And moving into my favorite hole, this has been original since the very first Fling here at the farm. Hole 5, 596 feet, par 5. This has changed a little bit since some of the trees did come out. You see the old big tree that was there at the initial part of the fairway has been removed. But the latter half of the fairway remains the same. OB lined up on the right. You just really want to cut the hole in half, put it high left on the hill. It'll take about a 350-foot shot and then a nice controlled shot fitting the fairway and getting here on the green. Ground out here just playing pretty tacky. The grass, there's a lot of grass clippings and high grass too, so just kind of hits and grabs, not much skip. Gary putting that, you want to put it on the right side of that, I'll call it a small grove. So Gary being a little short and left of it is going to really challenge his second shot. Getting it flipped up and in the meat of the gap is best. That's a good shot. It's going to fade off a little prematurely, but yeah, that should be fine there. The further right you get off the tee, the more flat your footing is, but it also it forces a bent shot for your second shot. So this is pristine right here. That's kind of what you're looking for from Jared. He's going to have about a 250 to 280 foot shot from there. But really, most players should not be challenged by this OB. There's not much reason to really get aggressive unless you are a touring professional and want to try to get an albatross look. Nobody here is going to do it. So Gary looking high. There is a big open gap and tons of room to the left. There is some more rough left of the green. I don't think Gary quite found it, but it's a pretty safe shot to just kind of go over top. Something that just gets to the ground. Keep it clean. London going to challenge the OB on the right with the forehand. Does the smart thing, kind of pulls it a little bit to the left. Hits the initial tree in the gap and it just drops safe. Yeah, with the wind playing it low through this gap is probably the most controllable for these players. So, yeah, that hillside causing Nate to pull it a little bit. Awfully close to the OB there. We'll have to see when we get up. It does kind of... the OB is at the base of that clump of trees. And Jared is headed for it too. Oh, he might be super close. The OB has kind of crept in. I've moved it in over the past couple years just to challenge this hole a little bit more. It is a soft par 5 for sure. A lot of players giving themselves eagle looks, but just trying to encourage players to be aggressive. Everybody wants to get an eagle on a tournament round. So good approaches from London and Gary. Nate, crafty little Johansson putt here. Oh, good line. Needs another weedy or two on that. And Jared with a similar look. All right, just kind of putting it up there. Not scaring the basket. And as these guys tap out, we start getting into a part of the course that's changed a little bit more from years past. So we will be moving our way up the hill towards the house. Is kind of the area we played it before, but you'll see how the course has evolved over time with downed trees. Course changes have been necessary, but just some tap outs here. Good birds from Gary and London. And in case you guys didn't see, right next to every single tee is an awesome sign from Simply Signs and Screen Printing. They gave me an awesome deal on these whole signs. Super clean, super nice. I'm going to be able to put a whole map in that white blank right there in future years. So very excited. They hooked me up quite nicely. So hole 6. I've demoted this hole from a par 4 to a par 3 and moved the basket in a little bit. We had that down tree right there you'll see on the right hand side of the green. So disappointed when I saw that one go down. I was excited for a very nice par 4 in future years, but this one had to shorten up a little bit, but it's created some opportunities for other holes. So a tailwind throw. The wind does interesting things as the ground kind of drops out right off the tee. It causes the disc to lift and drop in weird places. So you're just really trying to throw something right at the basket chains and let it fall into the hillside. Exactly like that. So great shot from Gary. London throws something incredibly similar, a little bit shorter. A little bit of ground play. As we have an opportunity to keep working this course and working the grounds in the future years, this whole fairway used to be 8-foot tall black locust saplings, and this the tractor's batwing mower just takes them all the way down to about an inch. So it's a little bit of rough stepping there. It is a safety note that I bring up to all the players, but everyone navigates this pretty well. And it makes for a great hole, too, so really enjoy this fairway, too. And an ace line, oh, that looks so close from Jared. Nate overturning it a little bit, but he gets the distance with the sloping left to right green. He's up by the basket, but has a left to right wind putt. And London, oh, great trust. He's just barely off right and left. Just barely. Oh, a little bit of a drop there with that breeze. And a good bird from Gary. Well-deserved, good shot. And another from Jared. Well done, gents. And a quick shout out to my brother-in-law, Ethan, one of the co-founders of this event, kind of the idea generation, and also cameraman for this part of the tournament. So he is awesome, taking the camera on. And then also another great group of guys is the Peoria Frisbee Club. These baskets belong to the club, and the insurance for the event also comes from the club. So they're awesome. Serving with them, we have a lot of resources available, and if you're ever looking to host an event, always reach out and let us help you with your tournament needs. Hole 7, this is a brand new hole. We're changing the routing for the course, so we're actually doubling back towards the tree that is left of hole 6's fairway. 270-foot par 3 into a headwind. Once again, the undulations cause a little bit of wind variation, but a routine power hyzer on the forehand will get there. Don't need to get too crafty, but this basket is hanging, so it is elevated, and the putt at it can get quite tricky. A little bit short and right from Gary. That's kind of like that headwind putt that'd be scary if you miss, so you really want to get this close to the base of the tree if possible. A little nose up from Jared. It'll creep down the hill on the backside. I think the forehand plays the most friendly to ground play and being able to stick it close, but the backhand can be controlled, as London shows us right there. A little deep, but he'll have a good look at it with the tailwind putt. And Nate showing us the forehand. That's a good line. Lifts a little bit, pushes out to the right. So Jared with the first. You can start, as the day warms up, the wind will pick up a lot more too. So this camera is picking up the wind as Gary shows us where all the discs are. But yeah, this goes to show the backside of Circle 1 can have a 10-foot elevation to get into the basket. So you really have to trust this one high. The wind is ripping. London needs to put it up high. Good spin. Keeps it in the air, but not quite able to close. Great bird from Gary there. He actually cashed that in for about 25 feet off camera. Give Ethan a little bit of a break. He's doing a fantastic job given his first time running the camera. Nate, this is a tricky one. This has the chance to kind of lift on him. Oh, it does, but it's a great line. Just a little high. Those chains get really stiff right below the band. And Jared here to clean up his par. Not sure who was pointing to, but gotta enjoy it anyway. All right, and a bogey for Jared. These scores not being anything too extravagant, but Gary picking up some heat. But if you guys want to get involved and you want to see your name or your logo up here, reach out to me. Get in touch. I'll have opportunities, plenty of opportunities in years to come to be able to help advertise for you guys. So please reach out. Let me be a partner for you guys, and you guys can partner alongside me as well. Hole 8. This is, once again, a new hole. We actually played it backwards last year, which was one of my favorite holes. But we are now playing across the Weirs front lawn. Appreciate them for lending us the space. The farm is just an amazing place, a little slice of heaven. And this hole being 640 feet with a tailwind, most players are looking to bomb it around the gravel driveway, which will leave you somewhere around a 250-foot upshot. Expect a lot of players to birdie this, but the pursuit of distance can sometimes get the better of you. Gary just hammering on this one. He's got the distance to get really close, but he kind of hangs it out a little to the right. We might lose some of the discs here, so I'm just guesstimating where they will be landing. You want to avoid the road to the left. So this tailwind can overstabilize your disc, cause it to fade out early. So that's really what you're trying to avoid. London puts that a little too high into the air, so that'll fade out short of where he wants to be. But it's all open, all safe. Nate just kind of gliding down to the rows of grass, which actually the Weirs, the owners, like to bale up a lot of this pasture. So we're actually in old cow pasture, but while there are no cows, they actually mow it down and bale it up for hay for other livestock and also to sell off. So good shot from Jared there, good power. Leaving a little left. If it caught that gravel, I had a chance of skipping out into the road. So definitely want to be hanging it out a little bit further to the right in round 2. Yep, just wide open. Pick your line. Not many targets to kind of aim for, so really it's just have confidence in your line. Although the mown grass does kind of act like a hazard, so messing with Nate's footwork a little bit. Something that will be accounted for in years to come. London with decent footing here. Both Nate and London about 330 feet into the basket or so. It's a good toss. Both leaving a little left with that tailwind kind of pushing things that direction. And compensating a little too much for the wind. Jared hangs it out to the right. Gary, the closest of the bunch. This is a good 450-foot shot from him. He's got a small little 200-foot chip. Yeah, puts that close. Well done. So they clean up here around the circle. Just want to thank you guys once again for coming and checking out the channel. There's a lot to come in the new year, so I'm super excited to give you guys some updates. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. There is a lot of new content coming up in the March-April time frame. Right before we get back into the Greater Peoria Tour. I'll do a quick plug in there for an awesome series of events that's happening here in Central Illinois. Go get registered, go check it out. There's going to be a lot of activity on the channel regarding the tour. But thanks for coming and visiting, and if you guys could also like the video, I'll give you guys something to comment about here in the upcoming holes. But before that, let's shout out another sponsor here. Just kidding. Just once again showing the awesome logo for the event that we put together and got put on some discs and shirts. So want to keep that going for years to come. But yeah, guys, reach out, please. If there's anything you guys are willing to offer, holding a camera, kicking something towards the events that I'll be running in years to come, as well as just kind of share some opportunities, new disc golf happening in other areas, let me know. But hole 9, the last hole of the front 9, this is one that I introduced last year that was a personal favorite of many players, so I had to bring it back. Also, forgot to mention, you probably saw there's a little handmade bridge I made for this hole, and also to cross between holes 4 and 5 on the earlier in the front 9 too. So that was a lot of fun, but just a 2 chipper shot. You want something that moves left to right with the Mando on the right, forcing players to just play something into the open and then play about a 300 to 350 foot upshot. So really, the upshot is a little bit tougher than the tee shot for sure. Gary throwing a putter turnover off the tee, gets it nice and turned over, sitting right in the middle of the gap. That's where you want to be. Forehand going to be one of the simplest plays if you have it. Tailwind's going to stable it up and cause it to fade out. So long as you don't leave it too sawed off and missing the Mando, you'll be okay. That's a great shot there from him. Nate doing something similar, a little bit shorter, but that'll actually play really well. If you're closer to this Mando tree, it actually opens a straight shot, whereas Gary and London will kind of have to work with angles and gaps, or maybe even go up over the top to get close to the basket. So turnover there from Jared. Ooh, really messing with those branches there. If you drop it down or hit those branches, you're going to be challenged to get any distance off your second shot. So yeah, Gary's looking to go up and over with the right to left. Oh, he tries to find a gap and he hits it hard, but he's a little deep and right. He'll have a look. London eyeballing that gap up top. Yeah, good little flex shot there with what looks to be like a putter or mid-range. Well done. And Nate here has to pick the this tree here in the fairway. With all the branches hanging over, really forces you to pick something low and glidey, or really go crazy with the over the top. And yeah, he hits the meat of the gap, but it pushes him into that second tree in the fairway. About as close as you can get to the curve, or to the turn. Jared throws a very rare forehand upshot on that. Looks like he got it pretty close. Oh, I wanted to see that finish. I think Ethan prematurely pushed the stop record button. But It's a close. I don't think it was in. And oh, a great run from Jared. Gary for the bird. Good putt. From circle 2, apparently. Must have been a 34-footer. And a great bird from London, too. Well played. Well, guys, quick score check in here. Gary at -5 and the other guys hovering around even. That's where I expected players to be probably for the day. Will it be in the upper single digits? The wind is causing those to be a little bit lower. But guys, that was the front 9 for an awesome 18 out here at the farm. I'm so glad to be back here with you guys, bringing it to you. And I definitely want you guys to stick around and see the action, both for this tournament and also in the events to come. So thank you guys for checking it out. I'll catch you guys on the back 9, and I'll have some more for you.